Extraordinary Americans. My name is Cosmos and this is Extraordinary America. What is Extraordinary America about? It is about the abolition of financial slavery. It is about the financial freedom of the 99%. Why? Well, you see, the essence of America and what it means to be American has always been freedom, pursuit of happiness, and an opportunity for a better life. However, most people are not living to those ideals when it comes to the financial front. They're under financial slavery instead. They're suffering from massive levels of wealth and income inequality. They're suffering from massive amounts of stagflation, where they have stagnant wages and loss of jobs due to the coronavirus pandemic and globalization, as well as inflation of prices due to money printing of the fiat money in massive amounts, which means that every time they go to the grocery store over a period of time, the prices will just keep rising higher and higher. Moreover, most people are under debt or some form of debt, whether it's consumer debt, mortgage debt, this debt, that debt, college debt, it doesn't matter, right? Which is basically a form of financial slavery, right? And most Americans in the near future are going to suffer from an economic depression due to the coronavirus pandemic. Actually, we're already suffering to the economic depression or the beginnings of it, and it'll be followed by a hyperinflation, because what the banks and government is going to do is they're going to print massive amounts of money, which they're already doing, and that's going to lead to hyperinflation in the future, right? So you see, the essence of America has always been freedom, but that is not the case in reality. We're living through a hypocrisy. Therefore, Extraordinary America is about the abolition of financial slavery. It is about the financial freedom of the 99%. We do not work for money. We make money work for us. How is this to be done? In the short term, this is to be done by protecting your purchasing power. And I repeat this is really important. You have to protect your purchasing power, because it is not how much money you have, it is what you can buy with that money that matters. People in Venezuela and Zimbabwe, they are millionaires and billionaires, but they can't buy anything with that money if they go to the grocery store, right? And so the way you protect your purchasing power is by investing in gold and silver or cryptocurrencies, something which is scarce and tangible, right? And in the long term, the abolition of financial slavery is to be done by, number one, the transformation of the 99% into entrepreneurs and investors on the light side. Number two, the creation of spiritual economic institutions led by Jedipreneurs that treat all of humanity as a 1%er family on the light side, with the father of the universe, who is the creator of the universe, being the father, right? And then this is done practically by giving the children that is all of humanity, like a universal basic income, along with the 5 essentials of food, water, shelter, healthcare, and education, and also helping them to become financially free the way it's done in a 1%er family, right? And the Jedipreneurs will do it because they have love for the Father and they see the Father in everybody. And number three, the replacement of the debt-based fiat monetary system with the American dream monetary system instead. Well, so anyways, in today's video, I want to talk briefly about how monetary systems incentivize national behavior and human behavior, right? So for thousands of years, we have had gold and silver as money, right? Where people would exchange gold coins in exchange for goods and services, right? And for thousands of years, this has actually incentivized nations to basically mine for gold and find gold. In fact, all of human history has been motivated by, has had nations being motivated primarily through profit and the finding of gold, and basically through trade, and that has motivated most of their actions on the deepest levels, right? And so you've gone through gold and silver for thousands of years, and even in the gold, in the classical gold standard and the gold exchange standard we have had till 1971, all of the decisions of all the nations who were on the gold standard had been motivated by gold, right? And gold mining and all of that stuff. It has basically incentivized entire industries to go towards that direction, right? In the previous video, we touched upon an example of Spain and other nations colonizing the New World, as well as other countries based on the profit motive and basically the hunt for gold, right? And so after 1971, there was a new system, another monetary system called the petrodollar system, for instance, right? Where basically there's an agreement, there's been an agreement made where other countries can only buy gold from the Middle Eastern, can only buy oil from Middle Eastern countries by exchanging oil for dollars, right? And then those the surplus of those profits go to the United States, right? And the petrodollar system has actually been the reason why most of the countries are now exchanging goods and services with America for US dollars, so that they can actually use those same dollars to buy gold. And this has led the United States to become like to keep the US dollar as a reserve currency and the topmost currency in the world, right? It is primarily because of this. And also, if you notice, all of like our national behaviors of like the Western countries and of like all countries like around the Middle East is basically due to, in one way or the other, due to the petrodollar system, like all the foreign policies and everything like that, right? Like what we see outside and then is a certain thing, right? People talk about different reasons for why they're doing foreign policy, but the end result is always due to the monetary systems in a certain period of time. So why am I mentioning this, right? I mean, it's like a real brief thing. Obviously in future videos, we'll go more into gold standards and petrodollar systems and all of that. The main reason I'm saying is that instead of like having our foreign policy and all our different policies being motivated by oil or by gold, what I want is for our policies to be influenced by the American dream instead. Yes, you've heard it right. I want myself and others would want our policies to be determined by the upliftment of humanity instead, right? And what we've come to the conclusion is that monetary systems do incentivize human behavior on an individual level and on a national level. We can call it for what it is, but the reality of this situation is that money talks, right? But like, what is money? Money is basically a store of value. It is a unit of account for value and is a medium of exchange for value, right? But that what is value is perceived by different people. But what is the true value according to the father of the universe and all the prophets that came from ancient times, right? And if you look closely, it has always been the upliftment of humanity. It has always been an uplifted human being, somebody that's been given food, water, shelter, all the essentials, and a bunch of other stuff, right? And they've been uplifted and taken care of the way you would do in a family, right? Especially the family of a 1%er, that would be considered the real value. And if you put that into American terms, that would be the equivalent of giving a person the American dream. So the reality of the situation is that the real value has always been a person getting the American dream, and that is what money should be. It should basically be the American dream, or it should be based on an uplifted human being. For the uplifted human being is the gold, the uplifted human being is the silver, because we are all one family, and the real value is always about humanism, and it is about caring for one another. And that is basically what the true value is, right? And so if the monetary system changes to an American dream standard, all of our individual behavior and our national behavior will be incentivized towards uplifting the human beings by giving them the American dream. And that is my vision for ourselves and for all of humanity. I mean, I wouldn't call it the American dream, I would call it an uplifted human being like outside of America, right? And so that's basically what I have to say for now, that monetary systems do incentivize human behavior. I want to conclude this video by telling you that yes, the essence of America is all this freedom, opportunity for a better life, and the pursuit of happiness, but we are now going through financial slavery for most of Americans, right? So there's a hypocrisy going on. And the way to take care of it in the short term is to invest in gold, silver, and cryptos to protect your purchasing power and to protect yourself from the devaluation and the eventual hyperinflation of the dollar. And in the long term, it is to be done by making people financially free through entrepreneurship, investing on the light side, creation of spiritual economic institutions led by Entrepreneurial that help in the first thing, and also treat people the way they will be treated in a 1%er family. And number 3, the replacement of the fiat monetary system, debt-based fiat monetary system, with the American dream standard instead. right? Because as we know, monetary systems incentivize human behavior, and it basically leads nations to dictate the entire policy is dictated by the profit motive and by money, as much as we want to determine it. So why not redirect that river or that entire force towards the upliftment of humanity instead? And that's all I have to say for now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.